With the 13th pick, the Eagles select defensive lineman Jordan Davis from Georgia in the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft. Eagles fans, welcome on in to Eagles Draft Central, presented by Dietz Watson. I'm Gabriella DiGiovanni with Fran Duffy, Ross Tucker. Guys, things got crazy quick. Ross, I got to go to you first. I know this is your guy.
Well, listen, if you watch the pre-show, you know this is my favorite player in college football this past year. He's my favorite player in the draft, and the Eagles got him, and they jumped the Baltimore Ravens to get him. He immediately is the most imposing physical presence in the entire National Football League. Think about that. 6'6", 341 pounds, runs under a 4.8 40. They're not making anybody else like him out there, ever. He's a planet guy. There's only a handful on the planet, maybe only one.
Yeah, that's the Bill Parcells saying, is the planet theory, right? There's only so many people on planet Earth that are built this way. 350 pounds to break 4.8 in the 40-yard dash. That is power personified. Just a ridiculous athlete. I said it in the pre-show. This guy is an alien. You're going to really like Jordan Davis, not just on the field, but off the field. A great personality, a great kid. He's going to be a great fit here in Philadelphia.
We'll talk logistics real quick. So the Eagles gave Houston picks 15, 124, 162, and 166 for that pick number 13. Of course, now they still have another one coming up at 18 as it stands right now. But I'd say, as we talked earlier in the pre-draft show, Howie Roseman, this is what he's known for, making these moves in the first round, and I'd say it's worth it today.
Worth it for a million different reasons. All right, so number one, I think most people believe the Baltimore Ravens are going to take him.
Yep.
So the Eagles did what they had to do to get a difference-making player. At a minimum, he becomes one of the 3 or 4 best run-stuffing nose tackles in the NFL. Those guys get paid. Vita Vea, Linval Joseph, Michael Pierce, Brandon Williams, Dalvin Tomlinson, those guys are valuable, but I think there's more there. When you watch him and how well he moves, I believe he can give them a presence as a pass rusher. And here's the thing, too. He is a great fit in the short term with Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave being able to play nose tackle and let those guys play 3 technique more, which is between the guard and the tackle. And even long term, he's a perfect pairing with Milton Williams, because Milton Williams is more of a 3 technique, whereas Jordan Davis more a true nose. I mean, look at him. He is mauling those poor kids.
And we know that this is really what the Eagles are all about, is building from the line of scrimmage, building from the inside out on both sides of the football. So being able to add a guy like Jordan Davis, that is so huge for this Eagles defense. And also schematically, guys, it's all about being able to win the point of attack with a lighter box. We know that the Eagles love to play with those 2 high safeties last year, pulling an extra defender out of the box. Well, when you have a guy like Jordan Davis inside, you can afford to play with 1 less linebacker. You can afford to play with 1 less safety. Adding a 350-pound behemoth, a mountain, and an immovable force in the middle of this defense, huge, huge addition for that unit.
In the pre-draft show, we talked about how historic this Georgia defense was. And you think about the guys that surrounded him, even Devontae Wyatt across that defensive line. That's an iron sharpens iron type of situation. Him having that experience in college, now coming here, and he's going to play with guys like Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Javon Hargrave. How helpful is that for his development? Because he's already come in here as a very well-developed prospect, but now he's put in a room with some of the best guys to ever do it.
Well, I love that he gets to learn from Fletcher Cox, and I think you make a great point about Georgia's defense, because the only critique you ever hear about Jordan Davis is, well, he didn't have as many pass rush stats. That's what we say about every Georgia guy. That's what you say about Trayvon Walker, the number 1 pick. That's what everybody says about Devontae Wyatt. There's only so many stats to go around. Jermaine Johnson had to transfer to be able to play and get any stats. I am tired of that critique. I know we just drafted him, but I'm tired of that critique already, Fran.
All right, I'm going to let Ross take a deep breath, and we're going to head back to Vegas. Dave Spadaro joins us right now. Dave, I know Eagles fans must be juiced up for this pick. What are your initial thoughts bringing Jordan Davis here to Philadelphia?
Well, my initial thought is going back to my conversation with Howie Roseman earlier in the week and him telling me the story of moving up last year for that special no-brainer pick. And obviously the Eagles believe that Davis is a special player. You guys are raving about him, and obviously the Eagles are too. So to go up 2 spots, Eagles giving up some draft capital, they will have a chance to get that draft capital back. They can deal the 18th pick. Sure, I'm not saying they are, They can deal veteran players, they can deal other draft picks, they can recoup those draft picks. But they saw the opportunity to get a special talent, someone who can help them now, someone who can help them in the future. It's a really strong move for a player that the Eagles truly believe can be a difference maker, as Ross said. And agreeing with Fran, the Eagles build from the line of scrimmage out. That is what Howie Roseman has done for most of his career. Tonight, no exception, with the first pick for the Eagles in 2022.
Well, Dave, it goes back to what you said at the very top of that, right, is the ability to go up and get somebody special. We know what the rap was on this draft class, the lack of the blue chip talent, the lack of the true superstar. So being able to get somebody in the top 15 of this draft that has unique abilities, a unique skill set, not just for this year, but really in recent memory. We have not seen an athlete like a Jordan Davis in terms of his height, weight, speed. What does that mean for this defense, obviously looking for additional blue chip talent?
Power, flexibility, somebody to mix in and learn from Fletcher Cox. Jordan Davis has loved Fletcher Cox since he was a little kid, loved watching him play. So he's got a chance to learn from Fletcher, to learn from Hargrave. Milton Williams now gives you more flexibility, can play on the edge, can play inside. Eagles really needed help on the defense. Going back to what they did with Hassan Reddick, this team ranked 31st in the league in getting to the quarterback. So you want to stop the run on first and second down. Davis instantly helps you with that, and you can help develop him as a pass rusher. Impact move for an impact player.
Dave, even if the Eagles had just sat there, right, they would have been able to get a good player. There were some other good players still on the board. What does it mean to you that they had the conviction to say, no, we're not going to just get one of these 3 or 4 guys that are still on the board. We are getting this guy.
Yeah, I mean, it says that they feel that Jordan Davis is a difference-making player, a special talent. And that is what Howie told me earlier in the week, that they want to get special players. And you're right, Ross. Had the Eagles sat there at 15, they would have been very happy with a good player who may have turned out to be special. They just think that Jordan Davis, the Bednarik Award winner last year, somebody who, as a freshman at Georgia, made an immediate impact, championship team, understands what it takes to win at the highest level, to dominate in the trenches at the highest level. They feel, and I can't overemphasize this enough, special, special, special. So the Eagles made the deal. They gave up a 4th and 2/5 along with that pick number 15 for a player they believe, very similar to Fletcher Cox, is somebody who's a difference-making player. The Eagles did it with Fletcher way back when. Maybe they did it again tonight for that kind of player. Fletcher Cox, someday going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I'm not saying that about Jordan Davis, but I'm saying that the Eagles believe that he was worth giving up that kind of draft capital. So clearly, they put him in the highest category.
Dave, you've been covering this team for a long time. I don't want to date you, but you've been covering this team for a long time. Have you remembered any point where there have been this quality of talent at defensive tackle on this roster when you look at Cox and Hargrave, Milton Williams, and then you throw in Jordan Davis? Just a really, really impressive group.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been, Fran, a point of emphasis for the Eagles. And I'm going to project Milton Williams taking that big next step. And, you know, Tui Apatulo, and I know I messed up his name, we'll call him Marlon, making that next step. And Wren making that next, you know, that step, that impact, kind of come in and make the roster. And Wilson, who the Eagles like as a developmental defensive tackle. You know, 1 through 5 here, they're really, really talented. And at the top, they have blue chip talent, and that's what this team is looking to develop. This generation of Philadelphia Eagles looking to be blue chip players. They added a blue chip talent and a blue chip player in college who they believe will be a blue chip player in the NFL tonight.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for your time. We're going to keep rolling here at the NovaCare Complex. All right, he mentioned Fletcher Cox. We're all mentioning Fletcher Cox, but Fletcher Cox is mentioning Jordan Davis on Twitter right now. He is fired up to welcome the rookie to Philadelphia. How excited are you guys to see this personality on Jordan Davis also kind of make his way into this defensive room?
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, Fran, I haven't talked to him, but Fran knows him and said he's just an awesome kid. You think about the guys they took last year, Landon Dickerson. One of the reasons why I love Landon Dickerson last year was his personality. Jordan Davis, same type of guy. They're both like 6'6", 340 pounds. They got a lot of similarities.
I was going to say that I haven't seen you this excited since the Landon Dickerson pick last year, but maybe actually when the Hoagies arrived like an hour and a half ago down here in the bubble.
His size, obviously, he's a monster, right?
Yeah.
But then to go with that, like you mentioned earlier, his 10-yard split time, his 40 time, just are insane for a guy of his size. What does his speed also add to this defense?
Well, here's the thing that I think is really important to your point. If he had played more snaps for Georgia, if he had played on more obvious passing downs, he would have been drafted in the first 5 picks because his production would have been such that somebody would have taken him in the top 5 picks. The fact that Georgia was so deep and so talented and didn't need to have him out there on obvious passing downs. They got a kid named Jalen Carter who's going to be a top 10 pick next year. They didn't need Jordan Davis on obvious passing downs. If Georgia had played him in that role, Eagles don't get him. He goes top 5.
No question. And that's the thing is that people forget that when you're talking about this defense. They won the national championship for a reason because they knew how to leverage their talent. They rotated defensive linemen in and out. It was like full hockey line changes, 4 guys in, 4 guys out. And so you see those guys constantly rotating in. Trayvon Walker moving inside, outside, a number of players being moved around. They weren't always just asked to pin their ears back and go. And that's going to limit all of their production. But when you just watch the film, you watch the impact he can have on the game, both run game and pass game, he's tough not to like.
All right, well, hopefully we'll be getting ready here shortly for the next pick from the Eagles. But, Ross, I have a little something for you. We have a video.
Oh, my
Live reaction of Ross watching the pick.
Ross, when he saw Jordan Davis was coming to Philadelphia. Ross, you're welcome. You can thank me later.
That was the Elton John concert. I was actually more excited for the Jordan Davis pick. That was like a song that you go like that to. I was kind of doing like a
you're just digging the hole deeper.
thing.
You're just digging the hole deeper.
Nothing safe on Twitter. All right, well, we're going to keep the excitement rolling here at the NovaCare Complex, but please join us back here after pick number 18 as it stands right now, and we'll have you covered all night long. Thanks so much for joining us on Eagles Draft Central, presented by Dietz Watson. We'll see you soon.